Topical back with another video. I'm Strange Wayne, he is Nate, and in between us is our friend Trevor. But all the gay men I know like to call him HT. Today we are doing top 5 action movies. I'll start off the list, but before that, we have a rule called the Zemeckis rule. If someone has a movie ahead, like if he has Terminator, this is number 1, it's my number 5, 2 spots are higher. We'll set the conversation for them because they love the movie more. So I'll start off. My number 5 is Enter the Dragon. You have every different type of fight scene. You have fighting 20 people. You have fighting 1 person, 2 people, and all of them are different. Like there's different stakes. There's different. The substance of the fight is different in every single fight scene. And Bruce Lee's the greatest martial artist of all time.
That's a fact.
Number 4 favorite action movies of all time is going to be T2. I think this is the best directed action movie of all time. So that's why I made the list. It doesn't get no much better than that. James Cameron.
That boy's good!
So my number 4 is Dread, the newest version of this movie. I wish we had another one. Carl Urban does phenomenal in it. A lot of action movies try to use slow motion in all the wrong ways, but this movie has excellent use of slow-mo. That's even the name of the drug. So it works out really, really well. It's also, for the most part, all in one building. And when you can take any movie, really, and just kind of have it in one setting. Like
That there's impressive!
Number 4 for me is Sicario.
I think you said 4 twice.
Well, my number 5 is Dread, and my number 4 is Sicario. Phenomenal movie, one of the best movies that came out that year. Definitely better than the movie that actually won Best Picture that year.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
You have solid performances all around in this film, but it is just like so freaking suspenseful. The screenplay is like great. The pacing is perfect. It does such a good job of getting you on a high and then letting you get calm and figure out what's going on and then getting you on a high again.
Well spoken, sir.
My number 5 is Shanghai Noon.
Okay.
Because I think that Jackie Chan and the other guy,
Yeah.
I feel like they have great chemistry together in action scenes. Like they have it's like the sweet and spicy, you know? Jackie Chan, he's just, like, it's just so entertaining to watch him on screen.
Is that an Asian joke?
Wow.
If you said sour, then it's racist.
So, like, I feel like it's just entertaining to see Jackie Chan on the screen in general. Like, to me, he was my favorite actor, like, more so for the martial arts, but I mean, I just liked everything that he was in. But, yeah, he was, like, I feel like him and Owen Wilson have a lot of chemistry. Like, Owen Wilson does a good job of playing the comic relief, but, like, also, like, hitting the serious notes when he needs to. Mm-hmm. But thankfully, there's not too many of those.
My God, are you still talking?
And my number 4 is John Wick, the first one.
That's going to be Zemeckis.
My number 3 is going to be Big Trouble in China. Again, I like martial arts films. You have this great martial arts setting and fights, and then in the middle of that is Jack Burton being Jack Burton, and that's
Fucking perfect!
The idea of having the main character, film-wise, as a sidekick, genius by John Carpenter.
Mm-hmm. That's such a fun movie.
Yeah, and that's why it's my number 3. My number 2 is going to be Lethal Weapon. The dynamic between Danny Glover and Mel Gibson is phenomenal.
I love Danny Glover.
Yeah, guy's the best.
He's too old for that shit.
The dynamic between them two is perfect because it's 2 polar opposites. And then on top of that, they have to work together to fight a common enemy. And you have one-liners, which every action movie needs. From Danny Glover, you have great action scenes, more towards the Mel Gibson side of things. And you have a fun plot. It's very well directed, underrated, like Dahmer. He's a great director. Nobody really brings him up. Superman, iconic. These movies are just as iconic to me, if not more. I grew up with them. I love them.
A lot!
My number 3, it's Rogue One, which is the only one that I would super consider an action movie. It definitely has a little bit of everything. It has some like hand fighting in it. It's got the war battles. It's got some more intimate one-on-one things. It's an excellent start. It's definitely in my top 5 favorite Star Wars movies. It's super well done, and it fills in the gap in between and it does a really good job of like explaining like why some things in the universe are the way they are. But the action sequences themselves are shot very, very good. In fact, I would argue they were shot just as well as any war movie.
Damn, bitch, was this a lightsaber?
My number 2 is the Zemeckis from earlier, which is John Wick.
I feel like John Wick is kind of the response that a lot of people think of in their head when they think about somebody doing something to their pets.
Now that's really funny.
I do really respect and admire Keanu Reeves as an actor because like all the gunplay that he's doing is all him. Like he legit trained to do that stuff. And
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's true. And like that's why it makes like anytime we have any sort of list that I can put John Wick on, it's probably going to be on that list. And that's one of the biggest reasons is because like that's a real like that is Keanu Reeves being a legit action star.
Yeah.
Like he did all that junk on his
he
own,
did.
and that takes a lot of practice and dedication. So, but like to me, it's also just the way that they're shot. Like all the actions in sequence. There's no like shaky cam.
Yes.
There's no blurriness to it. You get a nice like every view of an action shot in that movie is wide enough for you to be able to really appreciate what he's doing. You can see all the intricate hand movements, all the magazine changes, all the like the gun fu aspects of it, like the fighting and shooting at the same time. And like other movies have attempted to do similar things, but they just missed the mark because the cinematography didn't hit. And then you add the depth of like, I mean, like everyone talks about the dog, but everyone forgets that like the dog is still based on his human relationship. Like that's why the dog is important in the first place. So you throw in like his loss and all that kind of stuff in there, and like just all the hurt that the poor dude had to go through.
But wait, there's more.
I'm going to give my number 3 to the new Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. I've been a fan of Dragon Ball Z for my whole entire life.
That's cool.
Toriyama and Toyotaro and whoever else is involved did a great job of turning a fan favorite throwaway character into a fan favorite character who is actually a part of the ongoing story now. My number 2 is Shrek. Actually, yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
The very first Shrek movie, like, you can't deny that the scene where Shrek goes into Farquaad's castle and they got the barrels with the ropes, the wrestling match. You can't deny that it's one of the best wrestling matches you've ever seen. Ever. Like, nobody can deny that.
My number 1 is Predator. It's everything I want in an action movie with the one-liners, Schwarzenegger, the badassery, great fight scenes, simple, it's thrilling. You get to the end fight. It's smart because how he defeats the Predator, and the Predator's a badass villain. And then Arnold Schwarzenegger. You gotta love Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Dude's the GOAT.
My number 1 just happens to be a perfect movie. And it's not even my favorite in the franchise, but it is Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Really, really like stupid fun movie. Like obviously you get all the adventure elements of an Indiana Jones movie with it too, but then you just throw in like I feel like he has the most like fight scenes in this movie. The action set pieces, like the Indiana Jones, the first 3. And I'm sure I'll watch Crystal Skull again at some point because maybe this part of it is good. But I will say, it's like as a whole, the Indiana Jones franchise has like the best action set pieces of any action. Like the way all the moving parts work and the choreography, like so much work goes into that. But I mean, honestly, like you could pin it alone on the muscly Nazi fight with the plane, and like there's just so much tension behind it. You know he's gonna win. He was gonna get out okay, but like there's still like freaking propellers going everywhere. You know,
Yeah. It's like his number 2 pick.
it's like
It has layers like an onion.
Whack.
My number 1 is Rush Hour 2. Another Jackie Chan film, but I genuinely think that Rush Hour 2 is like the apex of the Rush Hour series.
It's debatable.
I think that Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker have an amazing on-screen like chemistry, relationship, whatever.
Oh, and I almost forgot.
The setting is very entertaining because I love watching stuff in other countries, just other settings. You know, go outside, just buildings and ghetto and
What?
just whatever else. But like, Hong Kong, like that's cool, that's entertaining. I just feel like all the fight scenes are really fun, but like you also like really know what's on the line. But it's like it never takes itself too seriously, and I think that that's a really good. Like the story doesn't like overshadow the other good qualities of the film.
And that was our top 5 favorite action movies of all time. Tell us down below what is your favorite action movie. Like, comment, and subscribe.